Bro, I know you heard the news. What do you mean, what news? Jackie and Josh broke up. Yeah, I know. I mean, we all seen it coming, but it's nice to get closure. Yeah. Nah, I'm focused on the new season right now. Love is Blind, season 5. It comes out today. Yeah, I'm about to talk about it right now. What do you mean with who? All right, welcome to Taste Take. If you're new here, today we're breaking down the first 4 episodes of the new season of Love is Blind. And that's all I've seen. And I'm gonna be breaking them down like you've seen them too. If that's something you're into, hit that subscribe button for your boy. For my regular taste takers, I missed y'all. Quick background here. And honestly, if you need background on Love is Blind, you're already behind. But for all my Love is Blind OGs out there, there's someone that's never seen it. So what we're gonna do is welcome them in with kindness and support, because that's the Tate's Take way. All right, so for all my people that's new to Earth and seeing Love is Blind for the first time, this is a Netflix dating show that came out back in 2020. This was prime quarantine viewing. It was freaking Love is Blind and Tiger King. It was a moment. Yeah, I'll be there. Anyway, the idea is simple. A dating show where you never see the other person. So can you fall in love, sight unseen, and then eventually build that love strong enough to propose to someone that you never even know what they look like? And that's exactly what happens. You're dating in these pods, looking to find someone you click with, you build on that bond, and then hopefully you get engaged. Then, after you get engaged, you spend 4 weeks hanging with the person in real life. You get to see them finally. You hang with them, you live with them, you meet their friends, their family, and then you go to the altar to decide if you're gonna say I do. Each season of Love is Blind has been hosted by the couple you guys love to hate, Nick and Vanessa Lachey. And at this point, I think it's just a troll. But it's hard to argue with success, because season 1 of Love is Blind was Netflix's #1 trending show. Then in 2022, it spent 86 weeks in Netflix's top 10 and was the only show that made Nielsen's list of top 10 original shows. And in April of 2023, season 4 delivered them the biggest premiere viewership of all the seasons. I mean, I don't think that's because of Nick and Vanessa Lachey, but they're probably just following the teachings of the wise and noble prophet when he said, "If it ain't broke, don't break it." All right, enough. Let's get into it. Boom, episode 1. This one's called, So You're a Recent Cheater. I didn't even start yet. Let me just start and then let me just get into it. Of course, the first episode is all about getting to know our cast. Then you got to figure out who's even going to make the cast. Because as we've learned, not everybody's going to find a match, and not even all the matches going to make it on the show. Looking at you, Josh and Monica. Anyway, our full cast consists of 28 singles, and some of these people ain't getting no TV time. So I'm going to just break down my initial thoughts and see if I remember everybody. All right, starting with the guys. First up, we got Ernesto. He's 32, and he's a supply chain manager. This is a dude who burped on his date, which, like, he's only on the show burping on that date. And look at his quote. "I will never quit on my significant other, but I'll fart on her." Then we got Josh, who's 32 and a sales rep. Josh.
I hope I don't sound ridiculous. I don't know who this man is. I mean, he could be walking down the street. I wouldn't know a thing. Sorry to this man.
Then we got Enoch, who's 27. He's a financial advisor. Definitely never seen this dude before a day in my life, but he's unapologetic and proud. That's probably why he didn't make it on the show. Like, nobody want to hear that shit. Oh yeah, Carter, he's 30 and he works in construction. I remember this dude because he just likes fishing and stuff. And then there was a scene one time when his belly was hanging out. But I think that's about it. Then we got Euphrain, who's 27, works in software sales. This dude cannot be on the show. Now they're just adding stuff. There's no way that he was on season 5 of Love is Blind. If you guys seen him out there, you guys let me know what did he do? And look at his quote. "When I mean business, I mean business." I'm sure the people at Netflix let you pick anything you want to say. This what you pick? There's no wonder you ain't making it on the damn show. Then we got Robert, who's 30 and he's a special education teacher. Who is this nigga? We got Justice, who's 28, and he's a personal trainer. Might as well be named Injustice, because I ain't never seen him. Then we got Jared, who's 34, and he's a university director. And I do remember Jared, because he's the one in the very beginning when he was telling Nick and Vanessa Lachey, like, yeah, like when women see me, they just say, no thanks, you're too small. And Vanessa was like, women actually tell you that? And he's like, well, like, no, not really. But if you don't get off my... We got Connor, who's 31, and he's a geoscientist. I have no idea who this dude is, but he's a freaking geoscientist. Lydia, what's up? Also, does he have the best quote? I'll die a happy man if I can say my wife was happy as well. How nice. Should have gave him a chance. All right, now we're down to the main five, people that you actually know and love or hate. Starting with Uche. He's 34, and he's a lawyer / entrepreneur. Aren't they all? Of course, we'll get more into him later, but my initial thoughts were that he is very boring. You see, it's times like this when last season we had people like Kwame that y'all were dragging all up and down my TV screen. But like, Kwame compared to Uche, we know what we had. Then we got my man Milton, who's 25, and he's an engineer. This dude likes rocks, and Lydia likes rocks. That was basically the thing with him. He's the youngest dude on the show, and he likes rocks. I guess it's safe to say he's looking to get his rocks off. What? Who wrote that? Hey, it's a writer's strike, y'all. We got Izzy, who's 31. He works in sales. And this dude is a guy that's saying all the right things. So naturally, I don't trust him. He's working the freaking room. He hasn't made any mistakes yet, but I got my eyes on him. Pretty soon we learned that he was engaged before and how much he dislikes Lydia. We got Chris, who's 28. He's a project manager. Chris seems to be a cool dude so far, but he did catch me off guard when he said, we're all here to get married and fall in love. Like, in that order, my boy? And last but not least, we got JP. He's 32 and he's a firefighter. It's freaking Captain America over here. But you know what? I like this guy. All right, over to the women, starting with Renee. She's 32 and she's a veterinarian. Now, Renee's not really on the show, but she's probably the coolest non-show person maybe in all the seasons. Like, the girl just keeps the energy at a high level at all times. I mean, like, look at her quote, though. It's like, I'm looking for a baby daddy because the clock is ticking. It makes sense why she ain't really making it on the show. I don't think you need to go on Love is Blind if you're just looking for a baby daddy. That's just a little pro tip from me to you. And that's free. We got Chandra, who's 32, and she's a flight attendant. And she's the one that, no, because she might have been the, All right, we got Maris. She's 30, and she's a HR specialist. She gets some TV time too, but I don't really know why she gets it. Then we got Erica, who's 27. She's a marketing manager. I don't think she was on the show. And if she was on the show, was she the one that slapped Lydia's ass? Which is also crazy, because like, imagine you tell your family you're going to be on Love is Blind season 5, and then they only just see you slap an ass and go home. It's like you took off work. This is serious. Then we got Estefania. She's 30. She's a teacher / dancer. I don't remember a lot about her, but I just remember that guy asked her that stupid ass question, marry, fuck, kill, pancakes, waffles, French toast. Like, people really come on this show and ask the dumbest questions. Because obviously you fuck French toast and you marry waffles, which means you have to kill pancakes. And you don't want to kill pancakes. That's the whole point of the game. It's not about making easy decisions. It's about who can make a gutsy call when the game's on the line. Then we have Miriam. She's 32. She's a scientist. Doesn't get a lot of TV time, but she does go on a couple of dates with Uche. She's the one that was born and raised in Nigeria and told him that she was teaching in the Middle East. And the first thing that he asked is, when are you moving back? Like, that's probably the most interesting thing anyone has told you on these initial dates. And this is what you ask. Also, what kind of skincare is she selling? All right, then we get to the main cast. Lydia, she's 32, and she's a geologist. Lydia is so damn extra. I don't even know what, there's words that I need to say, but, you know? Lydia likes Izzy immediately, even though Milton is literally her, just younger. Izzy breaks things off with Lydia so fast, it felt like it was happening in season 4. Then she's crying because she doesn't think anyone's gonna love her because one guy who she's never seen, doesn't like her. And after this breakdown, Aaliyah pretty much holds her down. They start creating their little friendship, which we'll get into. Then we got Johnny. She's 32. She's a lawyer. She has a terrible voice.
Ooh, how deep do we want to go here?
Her mom thinks marriage might not be for her. Her mom might be onto something. Johnny and Chris start to vibe pretty early on. This is when we get that little view into his sexual past when she asks him about losing his virginity, which, like, who even asks that anymore? Like, in this climate? But then Chris gets all serious about it, so I'm like, damn, like, maybe he's like a virgin or something like that, like super religious, and he just feels nervous to like say this on TV. But no, it was not that. Apparently he was the victim of, I don't even know if I could even say this on YouTube because I don't, SA? Apparently he was a victim of a charged interaction in Mexico when he was on vacation. And for all of you out there who don't think this happens to men, I need you all to grow up. If you or someone you know is having unwanted sex on spring break, please call 555. I gotta be better. But Johnny was real cool about it though, which is, I must say. But in all seriousness, if this guy really said no, like, consent works both ways. So just like, be cool out there. Then we got Stacy. She's 34 and she's an operations manager. She has like main character energy. Like, so far I have no problems with her. Like, you know, she just kind of just, you know, like, I'm like expecting to have problems with her, but right now I don't. Why am I looking for a problem? Why can't she just be cool? And I'm not gonna act like I didn't see that Dior drip. Then we got Taylor. She's 26. She's a teacher. I don't have much to say about her. She seems fine. She seems nice. She was the one that was kind of explaining that she had a hard time loving herself in the past. She just seems like someone who had like a glow up and maybe like just wasn't so happy with their appearance back in the day. So she's just like trying to figure out her new existence. And last, but certainly not least, we have Aaliyah, who's 29 and she's an ICU nurse. Aaliyah lived in Japan as a kid. Her and Uche start vibing pretty quickly. She's the one that came to Lydia's side when Izzy dropped her faster than I dropped financial accounting in junior year. And since we're talking about Aaliyah, let's just get into the oh my golly Wally moment of the episode. Like I said, she's been vibing with Uche. So Uche, naturally, asks, hey, have you ever cheated on someone? And she's like, damn. Well, yes, I cheated one time on my ex-boyfriend. She basically tells him that she wasn't satisfied. So Uche's like, when was it? And Aaliyah's like 2 years ago. And here go Uche. Oh, so you're a recent cheater. What does that even mean? If she said it was 5 years ago, would he be cool with it? And he's like, it's not good. Did you tell your boyfriend that this happened? And she's looking around like, what the hell? Ain't this Netflix? I'm telling this nigga right now. Then Uche goes into straight preacher mode. Like, you sure you didn't just not tell him because you wanted to make it about you? Then he's like, you know, I also cheated once, but I was 18 years old and it was only a kiss. Uche, if you don't go somewhere, and he keeps going, because then he's like, tell me this. Do you have more guy friends or girlfriends? Now, what I won't do is sit with the dude trying to shame me, acting like I just told him that I murdered my whole family because they went to go see Puss in Boots without me. So she walks out the pod crying. He's in there talking to himself. Good for you, girl. Get away from this creep. She goes back to the women's quarters and let's see if Lydia returns the favor. She does. Keep the Pringles though. Boom, episode 2. This one's called, Can I Talk to You For Real? Of course, we start with Lydia crawling back to Milton after she got dumped by Isaac. This is when she sets up that beach date where he can't find the cooler that he walked in and put his notebook on. Lydia is just so desperate to be loved. She's always crying, talking about, no one will ever love me. Like, Milton liked you right away. Do you only want to be loved by someone who's 30 years old? Anyway, we find out more about Milton here. He was born in Japan, lived in Hawaii, had a tough childhood. So now that he's opening up, Lydia's like, okay, I can see myself, you know, being with him. Like, why don't, and she damn near flipped out of her chair. Over to JP and Taylor. This is pretty much the first couple that's locked up. They're just grooving along with no problems. Naturally, he brought an American flag on his date. Damn, this dude loves America. I got my eye on this dude. I like JP, But like, you know? Anyway, then we get a serious moment because she's like, tell me about your childhood. And he starts crying. Apparently, his mom was not that nice and was very abusive to him and his sisters. And he felt bad that he couldn't help them, which is pretty sad. It's messed up. Apparently, his mom's a little better now, but still a pretty serious moment. Taylor says, I love you. He says, I love you too. Damn, that was quick. Back with Uche and Aaliyah after cheating gate, she's like, look, you made me feel really bad. You made me feel judged, and you were condemning me, talking about like, how do I know you won't do this again? Then Uche, this freaking moron's like, did I say any of those things? And she's like, yes, you literally did. And he's like,
well, I didn't know all that, so I'm sorry.
But now he's trying to save himself because he's like, you know, maybe I did all that because I really like you and I was scared and I was looking for a way out. But it was really big of you to tell me. You didn't have to tell me that. He's like, I'm falling for you and I'm sorry I made you feel this way. She accepts his apology and he asks if she's still his girlfriend. For now, the next couple that's forming is Izzy and Stacy. Now, like I said in the beginning, I still just don't all the way trust Izzy. You know what Izzy's like? Follow me for a second. He feels like one of those kids in the movies that come over to play and they're like, hey, Mr. Johnson, dinner sure smells yummy. Then they go upstairs and teach the good kid how to curse. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's like he's saying the right stuff, but what you got back there? You know what I'm saying? I mean, but he also might be just a good dude and I'm just hating. I also really don't mind Stacy yet. I'm sure something will change. But right now, so far so good. The drama here is that Izzy also likes Johnny and Chris also likes Johnny. So on the Chris and Johnny date, that's when they go to like that spa thing and they put those things on their feet, which, cute. Chris is like the hopeless romantic. He tells Johnny that he loves her. She does not say it back, which is fine. But what she does do is just go on another date with Izzy. Here we find out that Izzy grew up Jehovah's Witness. That tracks. He didn't celebrate Christmas until 2018, which is crazy because like you missed like all like the fire. Like you missed like the Game Boy, like Sega Genesis, like Dreamcast, PlayStation 1, PlayStation 2. All right, Christmas is obviously not about gifts. You guys all know that. So he tells her that he would love to join her family's traditions. And she's like, oh my God, yes, we would love to have you. Girl, you just told Chris that you want to lose that monopoly with his family. This girl trying to live a double life. Johnny is working the freaking room, which is part of the game, but she got to be careful. She tells Izzy that he's not the logical choice. You said it. Anyway, back over to the only non-drama couple. JP is about to propose to Taylor. It's freaking episode 2. JP is not playing with y'all. My man knows what he wants. His Second Amendment rights. Nah, I'm just kidding. He wants Taylor. But I ain't gonna lie though, the proposal was super nice. And she said yes. Okay, enough of the sweet stuff. Let's get back to the drama. We're with Chris and Johnny. Johnny tells Chris, you know what? I have a stronger connection with someone else. This is over. Yuck. And she was like actually kind of dry with it. And just so me and you guys out there are crystal clear on this, this is exactly what I wrote next in my notes. This is gonna be awkward when Izzy leaves her that same way. Just saying I be knowing what I be knowing. Anyway, she goes on a date with Izzy. She's like, I just want you to know that I broke things off with my number 2. Also, calling this dude your number 2? Mad rude. Izzy's like, yeah, I heard he was talking about it in like the men's room. He's a little bummed about it. And she's like, what? He was sad? Girl, I know we're not here on the hunt for villains, but if the shoe fits. Anyway, then they have a moment because he's worried about how he looks because he's bald. I never even knew that was a real thing that men were like worried about. So I don't know, like women or men out there who are interested in men, like how much do you care about a guy's hair or like if he doesn't have any? It seemed like a first world problem, which is crazy because like he's complaining that he doesn't have hair and she's like, yeah, I have some exes with addiction issues and I have an ex-husband who I never loved. Like, good Lord. She's gonna have to check some of that baggage at the gate. This dude, Izzy, doesn't even know how to handle that. She's like, oh my God, I'm sorry. Was that like a lot? He's like, look, I just gotta process this. Just gave my man the out that he's been looking for. Now Johnny is back in the women's lair, slowly realizing what she just did, but still finding time to hate on Stacy, talking about he won't be happy with her. Please tell me, what did Stacy do to you? And as the episode comes to a close, we're about to get our first reveal. JP and Taylor. Freaking Taylor's like, I don't even know what color he is. Girl, he's a firefighter that only wears red, white, and blue. Stop it. Boom! Episode 3. This one's called Blindsided. We left off with the JP and Taylor cliffhanger. They see each other. They seem to be pleased with what they see. He proposes. She says yes. He's sweating his ass off. Taylor couldn't even let the moment be great because she's like, yeah, honestly, in the real world, I probably wouldn't have gone for him because he has a gap. I didn't even realize this dude had a gap. This is like the smallest gap in history. This is like a kiosk gap. You know, it's like, because it's like the kiosk in the mall. And like the gap is like a store. So it's like a small version, like a kiosk. Then we get that stupid clip of Stacy reciting her poem for Izzy. Something like, Izzy, 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 you got me in a tizzy. I don't know how you bagged me because you don't got no rizzy. It was something like that. I think that's how it went. I think maybe I would change some of it. Then we're back with Uche and Aaliyah. Things are back on track, moving smoothly. This is when they talk about their confessions where she admits that she likes to grab elbow skin, and that she likes to eat Splenda packs and honey. And high key right there, that probably would have did it for me. I don't know. That might have been enough. So she's like, what kind of weird stuff do you do? And here go his boring ass. I like things organized. If you don't get off my screen, all right, over to Milton and Lydia. Remember them? They're finally not talking about rocks. She tells him that she's most proud of her degrees and she wants to know his biggest trauma. I guess he has scoliosis. So he went through a phase where he wasn't sure if anyone would ever love him. Then, of course, here goes Lydia. Can you let me talk? I'm going to be there to love you. It's me. I'm going to be there. Yo. Lydia is so intense. Like, just relax, girl. Yeah, so for some reason, Milton thinks he's going to die younger because he's tall, which is like, I guess I should start getting my affairs in order. And, like, if y'all see something here that you like, I guess just let me know. Next up, I think, is where we have our oh my golly Wally moment with Izzy and Johnny. This is where he's telling her the differences between her and Stacy. Johnny knows it's happening. She's smart. She goes into this long speech about how she had to give up the safe option and he needs to do the same thing. This is a powerful speech, but not powerful enough. She's like, are you ending things with me? And he's like, yes, I am. Yikes. And then, you know, Netflix is going to be right there with the perfect music for the occasion. You dumped the nice guy for the guy that don't like you. Now you look sick. Now you gotta go back to the nice guy. And he better not take you back, cause if it was me, I'd laugh in your face. But also low-key, I'd probably take you back so I could stay on the show, cause I ain't shit. You know how the songs be? Y'all didn't hear that one? You probably have to upgrade your Netflix account. So like just call them after, and you could probably see like, why didn't I get that version on my stream? Anyway, in typical Johnny fashion, she comes back to the women's quarters, hating on Stacy, saying that they're just gonna break up in a month. Which might be true, but stop hating. All right, over to the Izzy and Stacy pod date. This dude comes in damn near doing cartwheels. He's like, all right, no, let's get serious. Yeah, it was tough ending things with Johnny. Sure, like as you scarf down these french fries. He hops out the Phantom and he's like, so where are you with the L-bomb? And she's like, you mean love? Take it easy, bruh. Now look at you, Izzy. But you know who does love you? Don't worry about it. Y'all see how sloppy this whole thing is? And speaking of Johnny, surprise, surprise, she wants to meet back up with Chris. Chris, you better stay strong. But he does not stay strong. He agrees to meet up with her. She explains to him, look, you are the safe choice. Literally what every man wants to hear. You just called this man boring in the women's quarters. She's like, are we ready for an engagement? Ready for an engagement? What? Chris is so damn nice though. He's like, I gotta think about it. But then back at the man cave, Izzy gives Chris the real tea. She literally told them two opposite things. Now you gotta pay attention here because it's as confusing as it sounds. Johnny told Chris that she was leaning towards Izzy because he was more exciting and that's what she always goes for. Chris is a safe choice and she's not used to that. Johnny told Izzy that she was leaning towards Chris because he was the safe choice, but that's what she always goes for, but she's never in love. what? Like I said, this girl is working the room. When she came out and told y'all she was an attorney, she was not playing games. Anyway, this is the last scene of the episode, and I guess this is another oh my golly Wally moment. We are back with Uche and Aaliyah, and how nice of Uche to write her a poem. And I guess there's something about truth and honesty in the poem, because he's like, and speaking of truth and honesty, there is something that you should know, Aaliyah, if we're going to keep this thing moving forward. And it's not a big deal, obviously. It's like such a small little thing. But one of the first dates that I went on in the pods was with someone that I dated before. It's Lydia. Boom! Episode 4. This one's called She's Gone. And now we have a show, ladies and gentlemen. Let's get into this footage, because you know they got the video of this original date with Uche and Lydia. So they go back and Uche walks in. Lydia knows right away that this is Uche that she dated for months. Of course, she probably fell in love with this dude like on the first date. He has no idea who she is. And she was still trying to like date him in the pods. Like, that's not how this show works. Like, only Lydia would try to make this work. All right, back to Uche and Aaliyah. He tells her they dated for a few months, but he broke it off because they were not compatible. Aaliyah walks out the pod crying. He is in the pod crying. Oh, all right, I think she comes back. She's like, I love her, and I love you too. And Uche's like, girl, I love you too. All right, we're out of here, but please believe we'll be back. Next up, we got Izzy headed to propose to Stacy. They're in the pods. Her outfit is fire. I can't even front. He proposes. She says yes after some speech about how she's used to flying solo. He celebrates with a terrible, untuned Millie Rock. She goes back to tell the girls the good news. Johnny's in there looking sicker than that first batch of COVID. Then watch this, her dry ass. Happy for y'all. Wish y'all the best. Like, just don't say anything. No one believes you. But then watch this too. She starts dragging Izzy for his low credit score. Like, enough. I hate to say it, but Johnny is trash. There's nothing worse than bad talking someone that you once wanted just because they rejected you. Rewind that part if you have to. She's here trying to convince herself that she likes Chris. She's like, now that I had time to like really think about it, girl, you only had time because you got dumped. Now Chris and Johnny are back in the pods. I'm basically waiting to see how much she can gaslight this dude while also shedding those tears that the Karens shed when they call the cops on black people for no reason. But here's where we get our first oh my golly Wally moment of the episode. Because Chris says, I gotta be selfish and choose myself.
That's right, boy. Let's go.
Oh my God. On behalf of all the Chris's out there, we must band together and uplift this Chris in a moment of celebration. All right, good job, Chris, but we're out of there. Aaliyah comes back to the women's quarters and she tells Lydia, I know everything. They cry about it for about 35 minutes. Lydia's out there being super dramatic as always. She's like, look, if you want to cut me off, I understand. Aaliyah's like, no, I don't want to cut you off. Just wait for it. Lydia's like, I promise. From now on, Uche would only be Aaliyah's husband. Like, that's it. Then freaking Lydia brings us another oh my golly Wally moment. There's like, how many are in this episode? All right. Also, I don't think there's anyone out there that can bring me proof that Lydia is from Earth. Like if you have it, I would say send it to my email. It's in the bio there. But I don't think you have it. She's telling Aaliyah every damn thing. Now keep in mind, Aaliyah just told her, hey girl, I think we can work through this. We can still be friends, but I don't want to know anything about what you guys had. Lydia's like, oh my God, girl, totally yes. We can still be friends. I won't tell you anything about what we had. But I did know his dog. I knew his friends too. He's really a workaholic and he's OCD. His house is so dope. And he's got a Tesla. Did he tell you that? Lydia is not real. Like, she's not. But she's not done yet. You thought she was done? She's not done. Lydia says, and let me tell you one last thing. We had sex in January. It was wild and it was sloppy. Because you know how he likes it. Okay. She didn't say like how it was. but she was thinking it. Either way, Aaliyah's still looking like... All right, fuck it. Let's go back to the pods with Uche and Aaliyah. She, of course, is calling him out for smashing Lydia 3 months ago. Isn't that crazy, Uche? Isn't that crazy that you were giving her such a hard time for cheating on her man 2 years ago? Information, might I add, that she offered, and you didn't feel the need to tell her that you were raw dogging her best friend 90 days ago? But Aaliyah is not really hearing what I'm putting down, because she tells Uche, no, it's fine. We're going to be fine. I mean, they're going to be fine until she sees Lydia again. And speaking of Lydia, back with Lydia and Milton in the pods. Remember when she was like, is that my husband? And he was like, she's dying to tell Milton this Uche news. It's too bad this young king couldn't care less, because he don't really want to get married anyway. She tells him, and then freaking Lydia is being annoying as ever. Milton, you're not saying anything. What do you want me to say? Milton, are you out there? Yeah, I'm just thinking. Milton! They decide to take a 5-minute break so Milton can process all the information that he just received. Lydia fake cries all the way back to the women's quarters. Like, someone, seriously, if you can find a tear, like, just shoot me a note and then I'll create an apology video. And I don't know where Aaliyah is at. Like, they're usually the person that comforts her, so it ends up being Stacy. I think she was just closest to the door. And even Stacy's like, girl, just snap out of it. You just told him that you used to raw dog the dude that he sleeps next to. Like, give him a second to process. All right, they're back in the pods after their break. He's like, can I ask you something? And she's like, you can ask me anything. And he's like, was it recent? She's like, damn. Then she's like, if I told you from the beginning, would you end things with me? And he's like, do you want any answer or do you want the true answer? Bruh, honestly, I don't know what she'd be talking about. And he's probably now realizing he should never came on this show at 24 years old. He's just trying to like make sense of it all and figure out if he should continue to build with Lydia. But then here she goes. And let me take my time with this one because I don't want anybody to miss it out there in case you didn't catch it live. Lydia tells him, I was going to say something, but I don't want you to get mad. He's like, just go ahead and say it. But I was going to say, if you have any doubts, you can just ask Uche.
Boy, ain't no way, boy. Boy, ain't no way, boy.
I could do what? What do you want me to do? You want me to act? This is the craziest thing to say to someone at a time like this. I don't even know how to process it all. I'm watching this like so intently. It's kind of like in the movies where like, you know, someone makes a joke about the bad guy and everyone stops because you're not supposed to joke with the bad guy. And then everyone's waiting. And then the bad guy laughs and then everybody laughs. It was like that. Because for some reason, Milton is okay. Milton is cool with this joke. Anyway, we're out of there. Like, good riddance. We are now going to the Stacy and Izzy reveal. It happens. They seem pleased with each other, more pleased than JP and Taylor did. It's not a contest, obviously. And I also think that JP and Taylor will last longer. But that happened. All right, that was a quick break. Quicker than I wanted, but we're back with Milton and Lydia. He really doesn't know what to do. He's having like a crisis, and he is going back and forth about, you know, how to handle this Lydia thing. Do I want to end this with her? Do I want to keep going with her? Do I want to propose to her? All that. I think that Lydia just wants to be married. I don't think she wants to be married to Milton. I just think she just needs to be married. But as a big ass surprise to me, he proposed to her, and she says yes. Not a surprise, but the proposal. I was like, did y'all think that he was going to do that? Did y'all really think that? And now it's Uche's turn. He's going to propose to Aaliyah. He's in the pod. Now I'm there watching like, where the hell is Aaliyah? Black people, always late. Then I said, wait, what's this episode called? She's gone. And you already know, this is an oh my golly Wally moment. All of a sudden, we hear a voice from above, who I think was Zordon from the Power Rangers, that says, Aaliyah has chosen not to move forward with this experiment. Boom! And that's episodes 1 through 4. Damn, there's a lot of stuff that happened in one little intro episode thing. How many oh my golly Wally moments was that? It might be a Taste Take record. All right, let me just do my little ending thing. As always, thanks for checking out Taste Take. If you enjoyed the video, make sure to hit that like and that subscribe button. In the comments, you know what to do. Just talk about stuff, and I'm gonna talk about stuff, and we're gonna talk about stuff, Next week, I'll be back to review episodes 5, 6, and 7. And I hope it's just as spicy as these episodes. I really appreciate y'all watching this whole video, man. Y'all be holding me down. I love it. I really just love it. Thanks for the time, y'all. Peace. Honestly, Uche, like, you told that girl she was wrong for fucking cheating on her man. You don't even know that dude. He probably wasn't even that nice. Why don't you just break up with him? Now look at you. Broken up with. For smashing Lydia like a fucking